Coming up in the news tonight, a major tourism attraction getting ready for the July 13th opening. A new police-fire chief now in office. And a prayer walk planned in honor of independence. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Megan Shepard. Thank you so much for tuning in. Topping news, the Office of the Prime Minister issuing a statement noting that tourism attractions, excursions, and tours will be permitted to resume operations on all family islands as of today, Monday, July 6th. And facial masks and physical distancing protocols are mandatory. Now, as for the islands of New Providence and Grand Bahama, tourism attractions and excursions and tours may resume operations starting Monday, July 13th, 2020. The reopening of attractions, excursions, and tours are part of the phased reopening of the country's tourism sector. Meantime, stakeholders in the tourism sector here on Grand Bahama are looking forward to a rebound in the industry. The manager of a local tourist attraction is looking forward to the next week's reopening. Tonight, he shares how business fared during the global health crisis and the way forward. Italia Hall has more.
Pirates Cove, located on Taino Beach, has been closed from March of this year due to the COVID-19 emergency orders. President and General Manager of the park, David Wallace, says he never imagined that this pandemic would take place, and unfortunately, once operations ceased, they were forced to send some 27 staff members home.
That's the direct persons who work for us. That's not the additional 20 persons who work for other vendors in the park. And so some 47 to 50 persons might have been affected here at Pirates Cove. And so for us, it has not only been a transition, but I know for the employees, it has been a financial challenge. And so I want to say first thank you to the government through the National Insurance Program, who has assisted persons with the first 13 weeks. I know they have offered to assist with an additional 13 weeks. They might be having some challenges with their computer system to continue that on, but I think at the end of the day that will come true.
But he says the good news is the company used the downtime to make improvements to the park.
We opened up the entrance to create for the social distancing. We've improved our welcome center, tiled it and painted it. We are putting lockers on the outside now instead on the inside, because realizing we need to move people away from your employees, we've put in an area, a taxi drop-off area, where the taxis can drive into the park now, and in some good order of sequence, they can park to let the guests out of their car. We've painted and refreshed the bar, the deck, and the whole property.
Now, while a bar may reopen for locals in the near future, the park will not fully reopen until cruise ships return to the island.
Well, basically we cater to tourists, especially cruise ship passengers, through the taxi drivers, and so many of them come from the beach. The zip line has not taken off the way we would have loved for it to take off yet, but trust me, when this place is opened, we probably get about 10% of the cruise ship passengers. So they come for the jet skis and the banana boat and the parasailing and the snorkeling tours. We have 3 restaurants, they have the bar, we have a kiddies play area, and so they can come and do a whole lot of interaction with the persons who they would have come along with.
The general manager says improvements will continue while the park is closed, and overall he is optimistic about Grand Bahama's tourism product.
I think our proximity to the great United States of America, where 87% of our tourists come from, will continue to make the Bahamas a choice destination for cruise ship and for air arrivals. I just think it's a balancing act now between the health professionals who want to make sure keep our country COVID-free and the tourism professional who wants to start our economy.
Italia Hall, ZNS Network News.
And now to news from police. The Royal Bahamas Police Force has commenced classes for police officers in tactical training and defensive driving. Classes were launched today during an official ceremony held at the Albert J. Miller Police Complex. Our Italia Hall was there.
The tactical training course and defensive driving course is said to be a rigorous training exercise which seeks to give officers a different perspective on their day-to-day performance by the most experienced instructors. Commissioner of Police Paul Roll sharing more details as to what officers will experience during the tactical training.
You are going to be expected to learn some firearm training. You are going to expect it to be doing a lot of physical. You're going to be getting up at 4 a.m. in the morning, and in some instances sooner, because you have to be on the parade for 4:45. And that's what tactical training is all about. It's not sleeping late.
Roll says the defensive driving course is critical as the government recently invested millions of dollars into new police vehicles. One outfitted Dodge Charger cost some $85,000, 6 of which were sent to Grand Bahama.
I'm looking to order some more of them, and when we get them, you'll get another portion. But while you wait on those, I believe you would know by now that approval has been granted for the acquisition of 2021 Ford Explorer Interceptors that are going to be sent here to Grand Bahama and Abaco. And these came out of the Hurricane Dorian.
The commissioner says more technology will be implemented as well.
So you're going to see some expansion of CC television here in the north. And we'll set up a monitor station somewhere once we have identified it. You heard me talk about the body-worn cams. We'll be coming back, Mr. Greenslade, to train your officers in the use and operation of body cams. You're going to be required if you're going to work in these patrol cars. If you're going to be going on the road, you will be required to use the body cam. You have to become familiarized with the operation.
Roll telling the officers, as the organization moves forward, they will be challenged.
The criminal elements need to know that we are serious. The criminal elements need to know that it's not okay to commit crime because you will not get away. I want to see the level of success in Grand Bahama as we are now experiencing in Nassau, to the extent that I believe very soon criminals will be afraid to rob. Because I can tell you today that the arrests, we have been experiencing arrests shortly after murders, shortly after armed robberies. Within minutes, suspects are being arrested. And that is what I expect to see throughout the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Now some 60 officers will take part in the 2-week course. Italia Hall, ZNS Network News.
Also from police tonight, there is a new fire chief at the helm of the Royal Bahamas Police Force on Grand Bahama. The official handing over ceremony taking place this afternoon. A changing of the guards taking place for Grand Bahamas Police Fire Branch. After 40 years of service to the Royal Bahamas Police Force, Superintendent Ernest Hanna will be moving into retirement. Commissioner of Police Paul Roll on hand for the occasion, congratulating Hanna for his service.
You've lived and you've served honorably. And I want to say on behalf of all of us in the Royal Bahamas Police Force, sir, thank you, and thank you. You came in as a fire officer. You served as a fire officer. We moved you around, and you graciously accepted your change and gone. Never one day raised your voice to complain.
Superintendent Hanna emotional as he thanked his fellow comrades for their support over the years, but also adding that he is excited to enjoy the years ahead of him.
And where the time gone between entering the police college and my lime green suit to this day? Where did the time go? Nevertheless, I'm happy to be here at this moment in time, and I want to thank God for His faithfulness throughout the years.
Roll officially announced that Superintendent Floyd Bastian will now head the fire branch here in Grand Bahama. Bastian, who is no stranger to Grand Bahama or the fire branch, says he's looking forward to the task ahead.
We were very, very community-minded, but most of all, we were efficient and effective. I think Superintendent Harder did an excellent job, and you would find out that made his style of leadership kind of different. So I believe what you get paid, you should earn. And so you would see us up and about. There'll be a lot of training. We have some new officers on board. You would have heard the Commissioner of Police mention those. And so these new recruits have to be able to take over the mantle and give you even better services than we would have. And so I'm looking forward to the challenge. I'm looking forward to going on with this mandate. You might hear some things in the coming weeks and months, because the commission mentioned that there are 2 new fire engines that are on board to come over. Along with that, I believe me and him, or me and Mr. Greenstein, will have some deep conversations with the fire department and its resources.
Hannah presented Bastian with a helmet signifying a changing of the guards. The search continues for a female missing at sea off South Bimini. The woman was one of 4 persons on board a vessel heading to Bimini from Luna Beach, Florida, when the vessel struck an object in the area of Turtle Rock, 2 nautical miles off Bimini, around midnight on Thursday. Now, reports say all 4 persons on the boat were thrown into the air, and a male and a female fell overboard. The lifeless body of a male was found on Friday afternoon. He has since been identified as Javier Marco Perez of Miami, Florida. The other 2 persons sustained serious injuries and were airlifted to Florida for medical attention. The search for the missing female is expected to continue.
This is Apostle Kenneth Miller here, Senior Pastor and Founder of Exodus Global Church. As we focus on independence and unity at this stage of our country and what is going on in the world today, there's something that we could glean from Judges chapter 6 with the story of Gideon. In the time of Gideon, so much was going on in Israel, and the Midianites had now oppressed the land, causing havoc, leading to famine, and persons didn't have a sense of identity, and in some places have lost their religion due to the level of oppression they were faced with. There's 3 things that we could glean from Gideon. Number 1, when God called Gideon, he said, "Almighty man of valor, I call you to do something great." Gideon said, "What is going on in the nation, in my family, in my own life? How can I do such a thing?" I challenge you to look at what God has called you to do beyond what is going on around you. Number 2, Gideon got a wake-up call, and that wake-up call was that out of you, the reject, the one that was least likely to succeed, yes, God could use you to do something great. And finally, it's not too late to start. Gideon started after asking for so many signs. This video, this message, this time is a sign to you. God got you, Grand Bahama. Dorian, COVID, or your own problems are no small task, yes, but our God is greater. Stand firm and be what God called you to be. Let us move together in unity. Let us move forward as a people. Let us stand together as God's servants in the earth. But let us be victorious together in Jesus' name. God bless you, and may God bless our country.
Coming up, a prayer walk set for this Independence holiday. That story and more when we come back.